Well, everybody, I'm Cantonese Cat. Hey, everybody, Cantonese Cat here. There's nothing that get people more freaked out than having a few things that have been happening in combination today. First thing is you have stocks like miners going up way high earlier in the morning, and it just kind of collapsed later in the morning. There's nothing that gets people scared when they get mispositioned like that. The second thing is also when Bitcoin is so strong, it's getting really, really close to potentially pushing to the $100,000 mark. But miners are still relatively weak. They just haven't really been doing anything. Even though they're developing a bull trend, they're repairing the technicals. A lot of people get really scared. MicroStrategy has been running like crazy. It's been outperforming Bitcoin like crazy. It's just way overextended. And finally, MicroStrategy is hitting a resistance here at the 1.618 Fibonacci level retracement, just like I was mentioning from the previous cycle top to the cycle bottom. And I really thought it was going to be a very strong resistance level. Sure enough, it got rejected off of it. A lot of people end up taking profits. Am I going to take profits? No, not really. I think it's probably going to go higher. But I can completely see why people want to take profits here. I think if you're a trader, you should see it a mile away. And that was like a profit taking zone right there. If you haven't been taking profits right there as a trader, then you're doing it wrong. The only reason why I'm not taking profits here is because I don't know when to buy back. I have a small position. I'm going to probably just leave it be because the trend is extremely bullish. And Bitcoin also looks like it wants to keep on going higher. There's not really any particular reason besides hitting resistance and taking profits. I don't think the cycle is ending yet, so I'm just going to probably just leave it be and see how far MicroStrategy takes me. But yeah, I also don't really want to create any like taxable events trying to like sell here and trying to buy back lower and create additional stress, things like that. I don't really care about any of that. So Coinbase, what happened? Pushed up a lot higher pre-market. Next thing, it just kind of collapsed. Where did it collapse to today? Well, it just collapsed back to the angle over here that I have. That's really all it's doing. Whenever things got really like about the arc here, everybody was super bullish, saying, "Oh, it's going to break above the arc, break above the arc." I remember people telling me like overnight, the Robinhood trading, price is like in the 330s. It's looking like break above the arc. Well, it's still stuck in range. It's like the definition of getting stuck in range. Still worried about the Ichimoku cloud here, but it's just stuck in a range, right? If it's stuck in a range, it's stuck in a range. I don't have anything else to say about that until it breaks. And so far today, it's just one of those proof that it's still stuck in a range. We were not able to break back above of that. But when price is really getting a little bit closer to the bottom of the arc down here, I was really, really tempted to buy more. I'm just cash poor because I bought more already down here. So yeah, I mean, I bought like one share of like Coinbase today. I mean, I'm kind of like really cash poor right now, just because I've been buying aggressively for a couple of weeks ago, and prices were like all the way down here. So yeah, still starting in range, but look at how bullish it is, like way above the 0.786. I think it's going to end up crowding and just making all-time highs. It's going to break out of the zone eventually. It's finding support here at the angle. It's going to break out higher. Volume is supportive of this move. It looks like we're just consolidating here under a range, but next thing I think when we break out, it's going to be breaking out to the upside. And these minor volatility moves can scare a lot of people. So I'm not really scared about Coinbase. CleanSpark, I don't think anybody really know like how decent CleanSpark is looking right now, because it's really seriously broke back above the 0.618 Fibonacci level, which is a very important Fibonacci level, and we basically just kind of came back and almost back tested it today, and this is a pretty bullish development. Whenever it does something like this, it's generally pretty bullish. I don't know what else to say. Like a pretty decent breakout candle over here, bullish engulfing, a little bit too far, too fast. Basically, just got rejected here on the upper Bollinger Band on the weekly, and then just came back down, back tested the 0.618. Coincidentally, also back testing the Bollinger Support Band, right? The Bollinger Support Band is also flipping positive, right? You basically have all this breakout and back test. There's really nothing scary about CleanSpark, to be honest with you. I'm going to keep holding. A lot of narratives kept talking about like shorts. The shorts are going to find out, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just holding on like to hope or whatever. But this is not bearish. Mara, not bearish at all, bullish engulfing, breaking above the 0.618. Initially, it was kind of breaking it down underneath of that, and like, oh, maybe we're going to reject the 0.618. But it really looks like it might want to just kind of break above the 0.618. Right, we'll see how the week closes by tomorrow. If we're able to break back above, unless it was like a false breakout here or over here, I think this is a pretty positive development, and it doesn't suck, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Also, the same thing happened, right? Like earlier in the week, just came back tested below our support band. Right now, it's very positive sloping. I think it's probably going to end up being, pretty bullish moving forward, especially if it's able to break about the 0.618. That's kind of what I'm eyeing. Now, Bitfarms a little bit lagging. It's underneath the 0.618, about the 0.5, just kind of range bound, stuck within the brown support band here, up and down, a little bit trendless. I'm just going to let it do its thing. Cipher extremely bullish, trying to challenge the 0.786, unable to push through yet. So far, it's kind of just consolidating sideways here, but on low volume. I suspect that I don't think it's going to have to come back all the way down to like the brown support band. I think it's basically just waiting for the upper Bollinger Band to expand further before price go up higher. And so far, this consolidation sideways, the volume is not really that great, so I'm not really worried about Cipher that much. I think it's going to be pretty good. I mean, like right now, if you don't count this wick here, it's forming a higher high here after forming a higher low compared to these lows over here. If you look at a higher time frame, like none of these miners really look bearish at all. 20-month moving average pushing up, just simply need a little bit more momentum and try and push above the 0.786. You got a week and a half additional trading days for Cipher to finish up. So far, the volume on this uptrend is pretty decent. So yeah, I'm not worried about it. Just simply need to wait for this technicals to kind of help expand so price can go up higher. The higher the volatility right now, the better it's actually higher chance for price to actually break above these important resistance levels and try to get higher. Iron, a lot of people are wondering about iron too. They ask me, why am I not talking about iron? Why am I not talking about iron? Why do I keep talking about Mara? Why do I keep talking about CleanSpark? Or even Cipher, why not iron? Well, because my calls average for iron is like somewhere around like the 5s. I don't care. I'm just going to let it ride. It's a bull trend. It's just form a higher high here, form a higher low here. There's nothing bearish about this chart. Got rejected here at 0.786. Probably going to be challenging that by the end of the year. And if we're able to break about the 0.786, then you're talking about some crazy all-time high stuff, right? Not bearish. Don't really care. TeraWulf is extremely bullish. The only thing is you're starting to hear a theme here. There are two issues with TeraWulf. One issue is that it's getting rejected here 0.618, which I think will push through, but we're just simply, extend a little bit too far, too fast here, and we're waiting for the weekly Bollinger Band as well as the monthly Bollinger Band to continue to expand so price can go higher. You simply have a really, really bullish trend, and a lot of people complain about TeraWulf. They probably bought like more recently, because if you bought anywhere over the last year, you would have made a profit, right? So far, it's getting rejected 0.618. So far, it's way about the upper Bollinger Band here on the weekly and monthly, right? This is the monthly. It's just waiting for technicals to continue to expand so it can go up higher. There's really nothing bearish about this chart at all. I'm not worried. I mean, yeah, you hit resistance, but the trend is bullish. So I think it's probably going to push for resistance, but don't be surprised if it goes down like 10, 15, 20% while I try and push for resistance, right? That's what these miner stocks do. They're extremely volatile, right? BTBT, what's going on? Well, very bullish week last week, but got rejected simply because technical still hasn't supported that move yet, right? You're trying to break about the 0.5, trying to break about the upper Bollinger Band here, but it's just went way too far, way too fast. Had to kind of cool down here. Went back down underneath. Right now we're back down to 0.5. But this is a very, very bullish trend on the weekly here. On the monthly, also very, very bullish trend. Same thing, right? Trying to break about the 0.5, but unable to do so. Trying to break about the upper Bollinger Band, but unable to do so. Still need to wait for time for the upper Bollinger Band to expand further. There's nothing bearish about this chart, except that it's underneath resistance, but it's got a bull trend. BTBT, basically a very, very similar story, right? Stuck underneath the 0.5. Trying to break above, but way outside the upper Bollinger Band, had to get pulled down, had to cool down, and do what's necessary for it to, kind of create volatility for it to continue to expand the upper Bollinger Band here. On the monthly, simply just can't go way far above the upper Bollinger Band, right? You have to wait for it to expand, and that's what BTBT is doing right now. Nothing entirely like that bearish about it, really. Pretty decent look actually. Looks like Core Scientific cores looks like it wants to just keep going higher. Looks like the weekly Bollinger Band is expanding. I don't quite have like a monthly chart because they went bankrupt and they just came back as a different ticker symbol. So there's really not a whole lot of history to chart here. But the important thing initially, I was worried about the the bearish divergence. Right now, you're kind of breaking these bearish divergences. It looks like price just kind of wants to keep going higher here. So there's nothing bearish about Cores Scientific here at all. Riot, a lot of people get worried about Riot. I don't know why people are now like. I honestly, I was kind of dogging on Riot here a little bit, but it did something really, really significant. It did something really, really significant, and that is it broke above the 0.382, and it came back and back tested it, right? And it's allowing the weekly Bollinger Band to expand here, and the 20-week moving average is curling up. All of these are very bullish things, right? So I think by Q1 of 2025, there's a good chance that it hits the 0.618. I think there's a good chance it hits the 0.618. Maybe by Q1, maybe Q2, I don't know. And once you get there, if you push through it, then the next level is going to be 0.786. Now, I don't know how far Riot will go this cycle. If it breaks through 0.786, then you're talking about some potentially like all-time high stuff, right? But before then, this is a very bullish development, right? Even on the monthly here, it has kind of reclaimed the rising 20-month moving average from resistance to support, right? This is a very, very bullish development here. There's really nothing really too entirely bearish about it. You're also breaking about all these like, Ichimoku resistance here too. You're trying to break back inside the weekly Ichimoku cloud, and currently you're just kind of back testing all of these support levels down below. It's holding. Again, there's really not much really bearish about Riot here. I think there are a couple of short time frame wise, there are a couple of stocks in terms of miners. They're a little bit lagging behind. CleanSpark underneath the weekly Ichimoku cloud, so it's still going to have some resistance here above. But it's also got a lot of support down below, right? The weekly Tenkan 0.618. It's just stuck in a range here. Probably need some additional time for it to kind of break out, but it's just not ready yet, right? Mara has broken out. It's no longer laggard. Bitfarms a little bit laggard because it's it's above 0.5, but it's underneath the Tenkan, underneath the kitchen, underneath the cloud. So Bitfarms probably going to be one of the major laggards. And then the other laggard is going to be Riot, inside the cloud, but not quite breaking through yet. Everything else is kind of above the weekly Ichimoku cloud. Like BTBT is above, Wolf is above, Iron is above, Cipher is above, even Mara is now above. So a lot of these stocks are already, doing what they need to do. Finally, talking about HUD8. HUD8 is getting into some resistance here to 0.618, which is expected because if you break about 0.618, then you're talking about having some potential moon mission, right? So yeah, not quite there yet. Also why not quite there, because it's also above the upper Bollinger Band here on the weekly, right? On the monthly, it's also way above the upper Bollinger Band. It's expanding like crazy. It probably wants to keep push through the 618 here, going 0.786 to like $43, maybe over to like the next few months or so. But yeah, it's just simply waiting for technicals to expand, waiting for the technicals to do what it needs to do, so it can do what it needs to do. There's, today I'm not really surprised by price action. Honestly, these plus or minus 10, 20, 30% move for miners is nothing considering the risk and reward profile, considering that it's been forming, for the most part, higher highs and higher lows. I'm not really that scared by whatever's happening. But yeah, nice to see Mara doing well, right? I was just screaming about Mara over the last few days. Yeah. I don't know, maybe I'm just lucky. I just keep screaming these things like Coinbase, Mara, Doge. I don't know. Right now I'm screaming about BTBT, and I just added more to BTBT today. I'm also a little bit screaming about GME here too. I added a little bit to GME here today as well, but that's another story for another time anyway. How far is Bitcoin going to go? Let's end with that, right? Bitcoin, there's nothing that has changed at all. It's a little bit way above the upper Bollinger Band, so we're probably going to get punished for it later. But it is looking very, very bullish because it wants to hit the arc up here. After it took off from this arc, it wants to hit the arc above, which is going to be 100,000. It's going to get there. I don't know when, maybe by Thanksgiving, who knows, but it's going to get there. The other thing is too that it's really got a lot of people trying to short Bitcoin. I don't know why they want to do that, but basically, if you summarize all the exchanges, there's a lot of shorts up here around 99,000. They're all probably going to get burned. It's probably going to serve as fuel for Bitcoin to go up higher. Probably with this momentum here, we're probably end up pushing to 100,000. Maybe by the end of the week, maybe early next week. I don't know. I really don't know. But just looking at this, it looks like there's really nothing bearish about Bitcoin here at all, except for the fact that it's overextended. But things can get overextended for a long time, and I suspect that it will probably continue to push through. Maybe a little bit of resistance around 100 into thousands somewhere around there, but I think it'll probably end up just continue to push through. Based on seasonality, based on the fact just consolidate sideways for like almost a whole year. And it's just going to do what it's going to do probably through Q1 of 2025. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Have a good one. Bye.